Welcome to another episode of the Money Wheel Podcast. The journey to wealth starts here with your host, Don Shade.
Hello, my friend and future millionaire. Welcome to this episode of the Money Wheel. My name is Don Shade. Here's something I want you to think about. When we started this journey together of building your $1 million roadmap, one of the things that I talked about was taking small steps for big results. Let me share something kind of private with you here, just to prove the point and make you think. I have cerebral palsy that affects the way I walk and affects my balance. Along with that, my right foot has been broke twice due to stress fracture because of the way I walk. So I kind of have to watch what I do. Now, one of the things is everybody gets older, your growth stops in one direction and heads in another. In other words, you're not going to get any taller, you just get a little wider, that's all, unless you do some exercises. Well, I'll tell you what I do. I have a NordiTrack in my basement. And when I first started that, I started out with 2 minutes. And I did that for a whole week. And that was to build up my legs and build up the tolerance of my foot. And I also have an exercise bike. Well, I did 0.2 of a mile on that. And I do that for a whole week. And then on Sunday, I move the time up. In other words, so the second week I'm doing 4 minutes, and then I move the time on the bike, the distance up to half a mile. And as I get better on the NordiTrack, my legs get a whole lot stronger. I can go a whole lot further on the bike. I'll get to the point where I move it from half a mile to a mile every week or so. What happens is this. I get to the point that I'm doing 20 minutes on the NordiTrack and 5 miles on the exercise bike a day. Here's what I want to prove to you. I started out doing 2 minutes. That was a small step, and it was a struggle in the beginning. 5 weeks later, I'm up to 20 minutes. Now, it takes me 11 weeks to get up to 5 miles on an exercise bike. And I know for some of you people that isn't a big deal, and you can do circles around that. But I'm not here to impress you. What I'm trying to show you is the little steps that make such a big difference for me to be able to get around and be in better shape. It started out 2 minutes at a time. What I want you to think about is this. What in your business is a small change that will get you big results? Step back and look at everything and think, is there anything I'm missing here? Is there something that I can delegate out to somebody that will free up my time or change my stress level? Just make me feel different about the business that I'm building. Because I'll tell you this, I feel a lot better about myself being somebody that can do 20 minutes on a NordiTrack and 5 miles on an exercise bike than if I don't do any of that stuff, if I get lazy and let it all slide. Well, that's everything I have for today's episode. We'll see you next time on the Money Wheel.
Thank you for listening to the Money Wheel Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the podcast. For everything that was talked about in today's amazing show, go to moneywheelpodcast.com and get today's show notes, past episodes, and most importantly, you can connect with Don Shade on all his social media platforms. Again, at moneywheelpodcast.com. If you are just looking to email Don, you can email him at don@moneywheelpodcast.com. For a list of all our tools we use in our business, you can go to moneywheelpodcast.com/resources. Again, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and see you in our next episode of the Money Wheel Podcast.